foregone days, well before our times. And the Schlesingers, Sammy Marks, the Oppenheimers, they all eventually found Muizenberg and built their places close to the beach. Rudyard Kipling was in Muizenberg too, and he was inspired to say, "White as the sands of Muizenberg before the gale." Agatha Christie and George Bernard Shaw frequented the beaches and were always inspired for their new work. And so it began. The secret was out. Muizenberg was on its way to becoming South Africa's most popular beach resort. The Brighton of South Africa, Muizenberg, the shtetl by the sea. What was this reason that almost 600 families lived in Muizenberg, Jewish families lived in Muizenberg at one time? What was it that made Muizenberg so special? To me, in those early days as a young little kid of 6 and 7, it was the way the beach entered the sea, and almost without any angle, it just eventually became sea. There was no dip towards the sea. It just went on for miles and miles. And it kind of created this ability for little toddlers to play there and dig and run around without any danger. And wherever you go in the world, it's very hard to find a beach like that. Then there was the season when 20,000 plus Jews arrived in Muizenberg. For those of us who lived there, the invasion was on. Dozens of Jewish hotels, kosher guest houses accommodated all. And for those of us who frequented some of those hotels or got invited there, the beautiful service that you got, the waiters there, the kosher restaurants, it was just absolutely fabulous. And wasn't it a surprise when some of the waiters could actually talk a bit of Yiddish? The pavilion held variety shows. Vic Davis was a compere, held regular talent contests. There were tea shops, there were milk bars, ice cream and fruit vendors, a fun fair, putt-putt and pinball aplenty. And the Empire Bioscope changed its program 3 times a week. There was bodyboards and beach bats. And it was those hours in the sun as a kid that allow me still today to impress my children with my ability to hit a beach bat. But all of these were just side shows to the main attraction, the main draw card, which was the beach. And at the epicenter was the legendary triangular patch of beach called the Snake Pit. You could always tell those that came from Johannesburg, because they didn't call it the Snake Pit. They called it something else, the Snake...
Passion Pit.
Yeah, Snake Park, yeah.
In the Passion Pit.
Yeah. I remember.
You were too young.
Yeah. I remember clearly, as if it was yesterday, running around that beach with my friends, Stephen Rifkin, David Sack, the Schwartz boys, Brian Barnett, and just the smell of roast chicken permeating into any stop, any child who's hungry, was no problem with food. There were so many kids in those days to connect. It was an abundance of young Jewish children running around. And to me, the most amazing thing is that I just can't understand how I never met Alan Gar, who lived on the first floor while we lived on the 4th floor in Arlington Court. Never knew him. It was a golden age, and it explains why Muizenberg resonates so strikingly in South African Jewish history. But alas, it changed over the years for a variety of reasons, and today it only glows with extra brightness in our memories. Whatever the reason, whatever the case, it would appear that Muizenberg, to those that live there, the expats and visitors, have much to share. And this was clearly demonstrated by a group of determined South African Jews eager to capture the history of Muizenberg in 2010. they mounted an exhibition at Cape Town's Jewish Museum called The Memories of Muizenberg, and it took off, breaking all records. And this attendance was repeated again in Johannesburg. Then it went international to Beit-Protea in Herzliya, and on to London, and subsequently here in Australia. I think the organisers that put this exhibition together did something really nice, captured some of our memories, captured it for a history, because it was a special time, only known to people who lived there and frequented there and holidayed there continually. So to Joy Kaufman and a team, Professor Jocelyn Hillick, Hazel Cohen, Yvonne Jarvis, we all owe a warm round of gratitude, and I ask you please to join me in thanking them. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Central Shul, Gary Peer, and the organisers in South Africa for helping to bring us this exhibition. I'd also like to thank the organising committee, Ida Winnick and Gary Immerman, Hilary Peer, Ronnie Israel, and Glenn Bricker. Thank you very much for making such a wonderful occasion.